Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all for today's session of Placement Buddy Talk. I am Khushbu Kishnani, General Secretary of PG Academics and Career Council. Career Development Wing of PG Academic and Career Council has organized this session. This time, we are taking IME department, and the profile that we are covering is business analyst. The speakers that we have are Naveen Bagga and Anshul Shah. Hi, Naveen.
Hello guys, everyone. Hello Khushbu. Hello Sarika.
And hi, Anshul. How are you?
Hey everyone. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so I hope you all have a great session today. From here on, our Secretary Sarika Yadav will take on the show.
Thanks, Khushbu. Hello, everyone. So I'm welcome you all. And since like Ankush and Naveen, though most of your junior must already be knowing you, but just to make everyone else familiar to you, I will request you to give a short introduction of your background and your current job. So we can start with Anshul. Just give a short introduction. Yeah.
So I should start with my introduction.
Yeah.
Okay. So as some of my juniors might know me, for others, so I am I have just completed my MBA from here, and I have a work-ex of 2 years with Infosys, and I'm currently working with Tiger Analytics as a senior business analyst. Previous to that, I worked for a few months with Virtusa as well. During my MBA, I did took part in a lot of competitions. So I took part of in Smart Cubes. I was a part of Virtusa. So in Smart Cubes, I was a national finalist. In Virtusa, I became as a national runner-up. So these were some of the things that are worth mentioning. So yeah, this is a short introduction of my.
Thanks, Ankush.
Sure.
Naveen?
It's Anshul.
Anshul, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so Naveen, now you can start.
So Sarika, I hope the voice issue is not there.
Yeah, it is fine now.
It's fine now. Okay. Hello guys. So yeah, there are many juniors that I have worked with a lot. So it's good to see them after I think 1 month, I guess. So guys, I'm as you already know, I'm currently working in Reliance Jio as a business analyst. And though the designation is business analyst, but my work is both. It covers both the data analyst as well as the business analyst. Before that, before MBA, I was working in Ernst & Young as a software engineer, where my work was revolving around blockchain technology. So this is the basic about my work experience. And if you have any queries related to marketing analytics, data analytics, digital analytics, or business analytics, I can cover these areas for you guys if you have any queries related to this, because this was my specialization when I was doing MBA in IIT Kanpur. And Anshul just mentioned about the Smart Cube. So there were many competitions, and with Anshul and I took part together, and we won few of it. So Smart Cube was one of them. Apart from that, there was a competition. There was a marketing competition organized by the Viral Fever. So I was a national finalist in there as well. So yeah, that's it about me. Over to you guys.
Thanks, Naveen. So in this session, we basically will be asking some queries regarding placements, and both of you can address them one by one. And I would also like to tell our audience that anybody from the audience can ask questions either by raising their hands or by writing them in the chat box, and we will take them one by one at the end of our session. So coming back to Anshul and Naveen, can you give us a brief overview of what kind of companies visited for IME department last year? And if you can recall, tell us what were their general requirements. Together you can answer this question.
Anshul, you want to start?
Yeah, you can start. Anybody can start.
No, you can start, Naveen.
So I can start. Okay. So yeah, guys, they were actually the most of the profiles that I was applying or Anshul was applying were related to analytics, were related to business analytics, data analytics. Some there were a few companies came for marketing and operations, as because we were MBA students. So these were the fields that we used to apply. I think there were a few companies like Wells Fargo, Infosys. Then there were some other. They were basically all the companies were related to analytics. There was Deloitte. So like there were some companies coming from SPO and some companies were coming from the placement committee that we have in MBA department. So these were the kind of companies that were there: Deloitte, Wells Fargo, Infosys, Tiger Analytics was also one of them. I got my on-campus placement in Infosys, and later, like in my when I was doing my last semester, I was looking for some offline opportunity, so I got Reliance Jio through there. So coming to the second part, which Sarika asked, that what is the profile that they're looking for, or what is the requirement? So guys, if I talk specifically about data analytics, which is a bit technical, field. So the very first thing that you need to have is you need to have basic knowledge about the programming languages like Python, R, these kind of languages. Because what happens is when a company comes through SPO, normally the companies that are coming through SPO, they have this coding ground. So in that coding round, they ask you the question. They ask you some basic programming questions. They ask you some tough programming questions, but it depends upon you, whatever the language that you have to use. But then you have to make sure about the syntax. So that is why Python and R is something that you might require when you are going to apply for any company. Because in their screening process, they have basically two types of questions. One is aptitude related, and second is coding related. So in coding related, I think Python and R can help you. So this is the first part where you need to have some coding language experience. Then the second thing that I can recall is the basic knowledge about what is the regression techniques, what are the ML machine learning algorithms, and why do you use machine learning algorithms? In what case you have to use that? So these kind of basic things that you are already. I think there are many MBA students here. From IME department. So in IME department, we have a lot of courses related to business analytics and data analytics. One specific course is related to data mining. So whatever you learn there, it's pretty important when it's come to building your profile, building your listing your academic projects. So that is the basic requirement that I can recall. If I'm missing anything, Anshul, you can add.
Yeah, sure. So like most of the part was covered by Naveen. So like he explained about the data analytics part, I would explain more about the business analyst part. So what happens is if you choose this kind of a profile, then there are few things that you might not learn here. So one particular thing that I would like to mention is SQL. That is an important thing that like in campus, most of the companies didn't ask, but when I applied for this particular profile in off campus, this was one particular thing that was asked in each and every interview. So this I will add on that if you are interested in this particular profile, then go for it and learn this thing. Other than that, yeah, basic know-how of statistical modeling and machine learning is, I guess, enough. Like you need not need to delve into a very deep understanding of machine learning algorithms or these kind of algorithms, and a basic understanding should be there. And actually, in interviews, basic questions are only asked. So covering mostly like they might ask you the p-value, maybe they might ask you why mean mode are used, or why some particular things, like common questions, general questions that are asked, that might be more asked in an interview rather than getting deep into these. Companies, I guess, were already covered by Naveen, like what companies come for MBA or in IME. So Extria was another company that came in analytics domain. So yeah, that was some few points that I want to add. Yeah.
I think, I just want to say one thing, like if, when the question comes, like what kind of companies come, so you don't have to worry, to be honest, you don't have to worry about the analytics field, because there are going to be a lot of companies, whether it is coming for MBA, this is specific for MBA students, whether it is coming from SPO or it is coming from our own department. In analytics, there are going to be a lot of companies. So there are going to be plenty of choices. Yeah, that's.
Okay, so yeah, you answered it very well. So can you tell us like how many rounds are there usually in the complete selection process of a company?
I can answer in a way, like, let's say it differs a lot here. It differs a lot based on the companies that are coming, but in a general way, there is going to be first round. In first round, you're going to have, as I told you, the first round is most of the companies, they ask only aptitude questions and technical questions, but there are some companies which is going to ask aptitude plus technical questions plus coding round. So this is going to be the first round. Then in second round, you have it depends upon the company, but most of the time there are going to be two interviews. First interview is going to be technical. Second interview is going to be HR. In some cases, there are going to be two technical interviews and then last HR interview. So this is something that I can recall. Unsure if there is any special case scenario that you remember.
Yeah, similar. So majorly technical round is there where you're asked about all the languages and these things. Then there is mostly a functional round where like they test how business acumen you are, because it is not sufficient to have only the technical skill. You might know all the like all the languages and all the tools to use, but it will not be enough if you cannot relate that particular thing with a business. So that is the thing that is important in the second round. And third round is mostly HR. So majorly 3 rounds. In some cases there are 4 rounds as well, 2 technical. So there can be a combination of these things.
Okay, so what was the selection process of your company? Like starting from the resume shortlisting, then written exam, complete process.
Okay, sure. So I'll talk about both of the companies, Virtusa and Tiger Analytics. So in Virtusa, the process was basically competition based. So they gave a problem statement on which we worked as a team for 6 weeks, both the functional. So we were the MBA students, and I, along with a couple of technical people, have worked on a problem statement, and that's how the PPOs were rolled. And Virtusa's hiring process is in that way only. Talking about Tiger Analytics, so initially in the first year, I also did an internship at Tiger. So there was more technical part that was involved when they took interviews, I guess, 2 years back. But as I know now, they are not asking very too much. They are not getting too much into technical details, and they want a person who knows the tools and techniques and is well aware of solving a business problem. So they focus more on a business problem. So that is what I know from my recent experience. So like recently, they usually give a case study. So what rounds I went through in Tiger was, one was a SQL round. Like they gave a case study, gave a time of 4 days. To solve that case study, we can use any tools like Tableau, Power BI, or any languages like Python, R, to basically use the data and present the solution. Other thing was I had a SQL test. Also, there was an aptitude test. So these were the 3 things that were there. There was no HR round in Tiger. There was only this round, basically based on case study. So yeah, that was my experience. Naveen can.
Yeah, I'll also give the example of one company which I got through campus, and the other company which I got off campus. So through on campus, I was as I told you earlier, through on campus I was placed in the DNA data and analytics unit of Infosys. So there, the first round was a basic aptitude and business related questionnaire. That was the screening process in which most of the people who gave the exam, they got selected. The next part was they divided the people into two fields that they were recruiting for. First was IoT consultant, and the second thing was data analytics. So I applied for analytics. So my round went through that particular field. So then, after clearing the screening process, the first round was core technical. They were asking a lot of questions about machine learning. For example, they gave me one scenario in which they were asking that, okay, in this particular scenario, what kind of machine learning algorithm you're going to use, whether you're going to use k-means or you're going to use KNN. So basically they wanted me to understand the scenario that they're giving, and then they also wanted me to answer that, okay, this particular scenario, what is the problem there, and how will you rectify that problem using any kind of machine algorithm that you have with you. So then, apart from the scenario based question, the one more thing that I think I forgot to add there, one more thing that is very important is the academic projects that you are doing. Because for example, if you are listing there 10 academic projects, so out of that 10, whatever the academic project that you are giving a lot of time while explaining to them, it has to be the best one it has to be the one in which you did your best. It has to be the one in which you dedicated most of your time. For example, I did one project in field of data mining. So I started explaining that particular academic project to the interviewer. So then again, because my project was related to data mining, the recruiter started asking some questions related to text mining. What kind of techniques you use in text mining? What is the difference between lemmatization, stemming? These kind of basic questions related to data mining. So this was a pretty detailed round. I think this round went for 50 minutes. So there was only one technical round, so that is why it went a bit long. If there are going to be two technical rounds, that will be around 30 minutes. So after clearing that one technical round, we waited for a while, and then we had one basic HR discussion. And normally they call only those people for HR discussion which they have decided that okay, they are going forward with these guys. So that was the scenario with Infosys. Then in off campus, I applied to Reliance Jio for the post of business analyst through Naukri.com. And then I got a call from HR where she was, the basic questions from HR, that what was your previous work experience? How do you feel that you can work on this profile that we are offering? Then what is your these things normally happens in offline interviews, that what was your salary before? What is your expected salary? Then after that initial call, I had my first technical round where he asked me some basic technical questions. Then apart from asking some basic technical questions, he asked me about if you know any kind of coding language. So I answered Python, and he gave me one basic task of Python, which I had to code and send the code to him in like 10 to 15 minutes. So it was a very basic code related to data frame. Like I had a data frame and I had to make some changes in it, and I basically had to give some basic output to them. Like for example, only give me this particular info, only give me this info for particular domain. So this kind of basic coding was there. Then after clearing the technical round, I had a business round in which they asked me about the scenario, again, the scenario based question, again, the resume based question. For example, your work experience was there in a particular company. So they wanted to ask you, okay, यहाँ पे इस company में what kind of work you did? How did you solve this particular problem? What was the business problem that you were dealing with? Then after getting this business round and technical round, I had one last round, which was basically with the head of that particular team. So there was a basic discussion which you normally have with the most senior person of the company who is thinking of recruiting you. Then after that, I was just having basic. Then in the end, I was having basic HR discussion, which was related to CTC compensation and work location, notice period, and these things. So yeah, this was my experience about Infosys and Jio.
Okay, so can you please tell us what your current job demands from you? Now you have already started working in that. So what is what kind of job you are doing here? Like briefly give us what they are demanding from you.
You want to start?
Go ahead.
So yeah, guys, I joined Jio around July 5. So it has been close to 1 month. So basically, I'm in the security and loss prevention team, and my work, as I told you in the intro only, that my work, though the designation is business analyst, but my work is it covers both the part of data analyst as well as the business analyst. So in business analyst, you have, for example, if there's any new project that my team is thinking of, so it will be my responsibility to discuss that particular project with the leadership team, and then accordingly, I have to design the workflow. What is going to be the workflow of that project? Then after designing the workflow, I have to discuss with some other members to, come out with a cost structure. And then after coming out with the cost structure, if the cost structure as well as the workflow gets passed, then the next step is going to be the resource allocation, that how many leadership people I will be requiring this particular project, how many developers I would require, how many ground level people I would require. So this is related to business analyst part. Then in then the other round, which is the data analyst part that I am dealing with. So the work it has a lot of domains. Like it has some domains related to dashboard, related to dashboard and reporting thing, in which I have to work, in which I have to use either Tableau or Zoom data. Then they have some database management related work, in which either I have to use MS SQL Server or I have to use Hive based on the type of data I have. And then the last thing which is I'm currently working on is the image processing based analytics. For example, I can give you the basic example that I'm dealing with right now. Is that let's say there are a lot of Jio stores around our country, and it is my responsibility to take the snapshots of the videos that are recording the activities in those stores. So after getting those snapshots, I have to do some basic image processing in it to analyze whether that image is blurred, or real. So in this way, I'll be able to analyze whether that whether the CCTV that is there, CCTV that is there, is it working properly or not? Is it collecting the data properly or not? Is it able to detect that? Is it able to detect the people around the store or not? So this is one of the examples. Through this after this image processing, we are going to apply some basic analytics or machine learning. So this is the kind of work which I have there, both in the field of data analytics and business analytics. So Anshul, you can start yours here.
Yeah. So my work, it's not too many days that I've started with Tiger, but yeah, I had been through many different things here. So my project is on EV charging station. So there are some US clients that want to start EV charging, as they have warehouses and they want to provide the same things to their customers. So now what kind of a work is involved? So initially I was majorly involved using a visualization tool. Mostly how to present that particular data, that they have a huge amount of data. We need to present that data, and what points basically are important for would be important for those particular customers. Those need to be identified, and then they need to be presented in a good format to the higher management. That is what the role revolves around. Now, what other things are required are, you should know the database connectivity. So like I'm using Tableau here, so I connected that thing with Snowflake. Now there can be different sets of databases that you might have to work if you are getting into analytics domain. So like these definitions are very vague. Data analytics, business analyst, all these things are not like there are you what kind of work you will get there doesn't depend on what designation you are getting. But yeah, here mostly I have a lot of involvement towards the business side. So in my team we have technical people who are solely responsible for database part. So I did not take care of that part as a whole, but yeah, I should know that. So that is important. I should know everything, the technical part as well as the business part. I may or may not use that thing. So that is what I'm using. Like in 2 to 3 weeks, I have used Snowflake, Denodo, like Tableau, Power BI. All these tools and techniques I have used in these 2 weeks only. So these things might change. The main point as a business analyst would be, you have the data. Now, how you will present that particular thing to the higher management? Use Excel, use anything, whatever you have. But yeah, that should make sense. That is the most important part. What you are presenting to your senior management, whatever variables or things you are using. So the that is what how the work revolves around a business analyst thing. Yeah.
Okay. So talking about resume, according to you, what are the key features a resume should have for your kind of job profile? What are the key
Okay.
features? Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, I will say you should know one programming language, you should know one visualization tool, and uh, you should be good with Excel, obviously. And the other thing, I guess, yeah, and SQL I already mentioned. So these three things are mostly that is used. You might use different tools, different things when you are there in any of the project, but these things will remain the same. If you know any one programming language, you will be able to do that work. If you know SQL, you will be able to handle any database. If you know any visualization tool, you can work on any of them. So these things are important, but these are again just tools. In your interview, they will check your business acumen definitely. If you have just data in your hand and you cannot explain that, using that data you cannot explain the business part, then there is no use of knowing all those things. So that is something. Now, how these things you will directly mention, you might have done some certification, so these things you will mention in resume directly, like Python course or R course or Tableau course. So these are must to get an interview opportunity, that are must to be present in your resume. Now, what extra you can do as in an MBA, I guess competitions are one of the things that you can talk about in your interview. So that you can mention, that are the good achievements that you can mention, corporate level competition. Uh, So these are the things: certifications, achievements, and all. You can be a part of some committees that you can add. Yeah, and work experience, whatever you have. Now, whatever you are mentioning, take care of the keywords that you are mentioning. Just don't blabber anything in your resume. Choose the right words to explain what you did, because they will not go through each and every word of your resume. They will see, yeah, this particular thing, statistical modeling is there, machine learning, it's there. But something like if you're dealing with finance, yes, credit risk, he has done a project on credit. So these are the keywords that you should mention. Whatever you write before and after that, that is okay. But if you are mentioning a line, then it should be, there should be a keyword in that. So that is what you should keep in mind while creating a resume, because resume is the first thing that they will get. So you will only get an opportunity to give your interview if your resume is good. So that is the most important part that you have to make. Give a lot of time and the effort to make your resume. Yeah, so that's what I want to cover. Naveen, you can go ahead.
Yeah, actually, most of the things are covered by Anshul, but I would say, because I think Sarika was asking that in your resume. I thought the most important part of that question is that what is the section, the particular section in your, because there's a fixed format which we use. There's a fixed format that you are going to use, and once you use that format, you won't be able to update a lot of things. So I would say that add academic project, give a lot of focus to the list of academic projects. Because see, for example, if you have, as I told you, that there was one particular project that I worked a lot on, so I dedicated a lot of my time there in that particular project. So I used to make sure that whenever the other person is asking that, tell me about yourself, I used to make sure that I'm mentioning that particular project, I worked on this project. Because what happens if your interview is around, let's say your interview is of 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and if your project interest, if the interviewer is showing a lot of interest on one of your project, so तुम्हारा मतलब 75% of your time will go in discussing that project. So if you have done a very good project, and if you are able to explain your project in a very good manner, when they ask you about that, tell me about yourself, you have won the 50% of the work. So I would say that academic projects is going to be the most important. And I'm not sure whether you guys will be able to update your academic projects on now, but still, like if you have done some projects, even if it doesn't matter if you have done projects here, if you have done some projects before, or if you have done any of your projects in the company that you were working for, make sure that you cover, make sure that you cover, and your, the most part, when they ask you to tell me about yourself. So make sure that 70% of your time is dedicated to that particular project that you are explaining them about. It can be multiple projects, it can be one particular project, but make sure that it is that you have one project in hand that you think it may interest the interviewer. So that is going to be the most important part in your resume, according to me.
Okay, so Anshul, you were talking about PORs. So can you tell us what kind of POR did you handle in your MBA, and how did you manage your coursework and these placement preparations along with that POR?
Okay, so I was part of entrepreneurship cell. So both the years I was the secretary, and then in the last year I was the manager. So these things actually have helped me. I will not say that they are like directly helping in directly helping in the interview, but yeah, when you like, for me personally, I talked with many companies and their senior person to bring that company, so I learned a lot. So that comes in handy. And yes, you have some POR. That is what a management person is like. They have to manage different things. So you have to be, what I will say, that your resume should be having multiple things. You should not be like you are an academic person. You are not like only doing one particular thing. There should be 4 or 5 things that is in your resume. So that is the reason that that is important. So actually, can you repeat your question? I think Sarika, what was the basic question?
Yeah, so I was asking you that how did you manage your time, like with POR and this placement preparations and this coursework? Like for MBA, I think this coursework is 2 years long. Like in each semester, you have some courses. So how did you manage that? I mean,
Yeah, so it is easily managed if like it is not a big thing that if you are a part of committee you will have some problems in your academics. If you want to manage, you can easily manage. I'll not delve into like too much into this particular question. I think Naveen
Okay.
was also having a quite some responsibilities. I think he will be better able to ask this
Yeah, he
particular
was
question.
DPGC, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Naveen, can you add something?
Yeah, I think मतलब I'll be very honest. The only specific thing that I, मतलब जैसे कोई preparation होती है कि हाँ भाई for placements you have to prepare this thing, you have to prepare that thing. So मतलब I think is कि when you, because in MBA I'm pretty sure that it's in MTech as well. But in MBA and MTech both there are some subjects in which you get a lot of projects to work on. For example, it's not like BTech when you study all the subjects and in the end you work for one final project. So what happens in MBA, like after every subject, you get some project. Make sure that, as I told earlier, that some people choose very basic projects so that they can their work can be very easy. But that is what you have to be. That is where you have to be a bit smart. That you have to pick some good projects. You have to pick some complicated projects so that you can learn automatically. Even while studying, you can learn automatically. So as far as analytics part was concerned, I never prepared I never prepared specifically for anything because I was already working on projects. So that was helping me a lot in learning things. Like for example, I was working in some project in data mining. I was working in some project in some other scenario, some analytics thing or market research. So these kind of projects, if you're working on good projects, you will be able to learn a lot of things. But before placements, there are some particular subjects. उनके कुछ concepts तुम्हें याद नहीं रहते. You don't remember many of those concepts. So that concepts, all you have to do is revise those concepts. This is totally about analytics. And while I was working as you told that I was TPGC. So while I was working for TPGC, all I was working for any festival that I was managing. The basic thing was that whatever the things that you are studying, keep a note of it. Keep a note of any, either have a note of it in your computer or have a note of it in Notepad, so that whenever an interview is coming, you are able to list out the things that you need to revise. You need to, like for example, there are many things, even though you are good in analytics, but there are many things that you forget that you have to revise. So keep a list of it so that you don't devote too much of your time. So you, like for example, let's say you want to apply for analytics and there was one particular business analytics subject. It will be of no use if you are studying that subject again just for the placement. It won't be beneficial for you. So instead of that, list out the basic things, list out the program that you yourself executed while completing the project. So revising that, seeing that, you will be able to cover a lot of things. So in this way, I was able to manage the. I won't say that I was very busy in the committee work. I was somewhat bit busy in the committee work, but I was always like that. Whenever the placement is coming, whenever I have any interview, I used to be like, okay, give 2-3 days to this particular company, and whatever the things you have to learn or whatever the things you have to remind yourself, just read that. But there is one thing I would say that because this was the particular problem with me, as far as preparation is concerned, the only thing that you have to prepare for is the aptitude questions. Because what happened is, this happened with many people, that they had a really awesome resume, they had really awesome skills. I'm pretty sure that if they went to the interview, if they would have gone to the interview, they would have got clear easily. But the only problem was with them that they were not able to clear aptitude questions, and I can include myself in it. So yeah, if you want to practice, the only thing that you have to practice is some aptitude questions. Whatever the preparation you had while CAT or whatever the preparation you had while giving any kind of aptitude exams, वो थोड़ा सा एक बार brush up कर लो, brush up all the concepts, because aptitude questions it becomes a major obstacle. Even if you love that company that you are applying for, aptitude can be a major obstacle. So the only thing that you have, if you're working on the projects, automatically you will learn a lot of things of analytics. But aptitude के लिए थोड़ा सा give a separate time, give some 1 or 2 hours before 1 week of the company that you are going to give your interview.
Okay, so coming to the internship part, so like internship is very important part of MBA curriculum. So how many internship did you people did in your MBA, and like what kind of internships are helpful for these business analyst profile sort of job?
Anshul, this is your question.
Okay. So yeah, I did internship with Tiger Analytics. So
Okay.
that is that is where I am. So basically, I will not say that. Yeah, it definitely helps if you have done an internship in the same domain. If you want the same profile in your placement, then yeah, it will definitely help. But it's like you have time. If you get an internship from campus, that might not be very suitable for what you want in your placements, final placement, then you can apply off campus. Off campus is always an option, and you should definitely do that. So this was one internship I did. I still did an internship, like Virtusa was also an internship only. I did worked for 6 weeks in a uh, for that. So that was also an internship only. I also tried applying for many internship during my time, whatever time I got free. I used to apply for internships. I did start one of the internship. I didn't continue it because I was not feeling. So yeah, so choose one internship that can help you, like with the profile that you want to get in, do an internship in that domain. If you don't get it from campus, try applying it off campus. That is what I will say.
Actually, the only thing because the reason I told Anshul this is your question because he has done a very good internship, so it helped him a lot. But many a times what happens is there are many people who don't get the internship that can help them to get the job. For example, if you want to get a job in analytics, many a times this thing happens that you get an internship in digital marketing, you get an internship in operations, you get an internship in sales. So what I just want to say that if you are not able to get an internship, it's not the end of the world. It's not like कि हाँ भाई internship अच्छी नहीं मिली तो job भी अच्छी नहीं मिलेगी. That is not the case. The only thing that can help you if you don't have, this is for the people if they don't have a perfect internship that they can help them. If you don't have that, don't worry. There are I think the best thing to cover that, the best thing to tackle that is to do some courses that can help you get that job. For example, when I was like my internship was in digital marketing and digital analytics, and it was, I won't say it was very much related with the job that I got in the end. But what I was doing is along with my internship, I was taking some courses. For example, I was learning Tableau, I was learning Python, I was learning few other things. So no, if you have an average internship, it's okay. If you can get a very good internship, that is awesome. But if you're not able to have any internship that can really help you to get the job, I think the best way to tackle is to get some courses, to get some, your own experience. Start working on some projects. You just say there were few people in my batch who were taking the projects from Kaggle, and they started coding themselves, and they were posting about those results on LinkedIn. So that sort of thing helps a lot, because you get an experience that you might not have got in the internship that you're working. That's what I want to say.
Okay. So like you are mentioning that doing some courses are helpful for these placements. So like I'm not sure whether there is somebody from Y21 in our audience, but what kind of academic courses you would like to suggest that they can do?
See, I want to say one thing, that if you're doing a course, don't do that course thinking that कि हाँ भाई this course looks very good. क्योंकि होता है ना, मतलब if you choose some course like this course was by Google, this course was by IBM, that doesn't matter. When you're doing a course, it is not going to be like कि हाँ भाई interview ने तुम्हारा resume पढ़ा and he got very impressed कि you have done your course from this particular company. When you're doing a course, you're doing it for your own learning. Like when, for example, let's say a person is asking कि हाँ भाई ठीक है, this is the academic project that you have done. What is the extra thing that you have worked on? So there you can capitalize, there you can make use of the course that you have done. Because when you take any course from Coursera or Udemy, for example, if I talk about a particular marketing analytics course, so there along with course, you have this capstone project that you have to do in that to complete that course. So you can dedicate your time to that particular capstone, and later in the interview you can explain that कि हाँ भाई मैंने खुद से I picked this particular course, I completed the capstone, and this is the way my capstone was working for my profile. For example, in first year I was having, because the reason I'm telling you this, because in the first year I was having this mindset that if I take 10 to 15 courses from reputed companies, it will be very helpful. But later I realized that these courses are there for your own learning. These courses are not there to impress the recruiters. So, take those courses which has capstone in it or some sort of really good project in it. Don't be like, हाँ भाई चलो course से जाकर course start कर देते हैं, let's finish it so that I can add it in my LinkedIn and resume. That won't help. So that is the basic thing. Whatever the course that you have, because I think you are asking that what kind of additional courses you need to have. The simple answer is the courses that has a capstone project. Number one, two, if that project really interests you, and you think कि हाँ भाई ये एनालिटिक्स का कोर्स भी हो जाएगा, साथ ही प्रोजेक्ट में का एक्सपीरियंस भी मिल जाएगा. That kind of mixture, if a course has that kind of mixture, that is going to be the best for you.
Okay, so like yeah, so you have talked about the courses. So I was like I was asking you to tell some academic courses, like courses offered by your department that are like optional, but a student can do that.
I think MBA students, they already know, I guess. I'm not sure that what kind of courses are getting offered to the non-MBA students, but in MBA student, I can say that there is one course called SMBA, Samba, which we call it Samba. So if that is the basic course that people have to do. If there are people from first year, I think the only thing I'm pretty sure that the second year student have given them some kind of information that this particular course is very important. But just because you have asked the question, I would say that Samba, take that Samba course. If it's optional, take that course at any cost, because it is the ABCD of analytics. And one more thing, after taking Samba, don't be like, I have done a lot of analytics, because that is just an ABCD of analytics. If you want to pursue further in analytics, then there's a course called data mining, I think, which is open for all. It is open for MTech, MBA, and BTech students. So take that course because that course covers a lot about the machine algorithm, different machine algorithms, and the different scenarios in which we use that particular machine learning algorithm. So data mining and Samba, these two courses, I would say this is the must academic courses that you need to have, to go ahead in the field of analytics. And the additional subject, if you really like coding, then the additional subject you can take is, there was one course offered by Veena Bansal ma'am, advanced, it was
Applied
machine learning, applied machine learning. So that you can take, but again, you have to code a lot in that particular subject. So that is one, because what happens is in machine learning also, you need to, as Anshul told earlier, in machine learning, maybe you need to know the basic things. You need to know that what kind of algorithms do we have, and what is the purpose of those algorithms. It's okay if you don't know the coding, because you will learn anyway. After coming to the company, you will learn those things anyway. So, but if there are some people who love coding, who are very much comfortable in coding, they can take that course as well. So Samba, data mining, and applied machine learning, these three courses I would say are the go-to courses for analytics.
Okay, so now this is a very important question. Like considering the current pandemic situation, what were the major challenges you faced during your placements and before that during your placement preparations? Like you were away from the campus and you all were preparing alone. Like in campus, we can do some group study sort of thing. So what were the major challenges you faced and how did you overcome that?
Anshul?
No, both of you can answer. Should answer.
Yeah, that's a tricky question. So, can you once just repeat the question?
Okay, so I'm asking that this pandemic, what were the major challenges you faced during placement preparations because of this COVID situation?
Placement preparation, I don't think that there will be a much hamper in the preparation that you will do, either pandemic or non-pandemic. So I personally have not faced any major issue like being home. I was able to cover whatever I want to learn. So that I don't think there is anything that I will like to say in this particular question.
Actually,
no.
Yeah, actually, I just want to add one thing that and I'll be very honest that when we were like, now we have to stay home. There was a lot of free time, because when you are in campus, roam around a lot. You know, matlab you go to canteen, you do some the proper gappe wala session hota hai. There are a lot of things that you do while you're in campus. But when you are home, what happened with me, I was very bored because I was not able to go out. I was not able to interact with my friends. So in that way, I basically use that time in courses. For example, there are many people, actually not only me, there are many people who if they were in campus, they would have done only 2-3 courses. They would have learned only 1 or 2 skills. But now, because they were at home, they had a lot of time and they had a lot of free time, I would say, after if you exclude the time that you want to enjoy. So in that time, those same people who wanted to learn only 1 or 2 skills, they were able to learn 4 or 5 skills. For example, I didn't think about learning Tableau when I was in campus. But when I came home, when I got to know that I have to stay at home for 1 year, I was like, okay, I have a lot of time. Let's learn Tableau. So, you know, I would say that it totally depends upon you. I'm sure that there is, you know, there can be family issue. There can be like one of your close friend or close family has got COVID. So that is a very different scenario. But in a normal scenario where you are just at home, you have a lot of time, you can't go out, you can't go for a trip. In that way, it can actually really help because you can give a lot of time to some additional courses that you might not be able to do when you're in campus. So that is, I don't think placement preparation where there was any challenge. Companies may I can say that that challenge was there last year. This year, I don't think there is going to be a challenge related to hiring. Why? Because the companies have figured out that okay, this is the placement, this is the COVID scenario, and we have to get the employees, we have to get new people, we have to make those new people work. They have figured out that how to do that. Because I remember when I was having my internship, it was in March 2020. So it was pretty new. The COVID just came and people did not know ki haan bhai kaise figure out kare, how to tackle this. So that time they were having some issues that how to get some work out of the people who are staying at home. But right now, even the hiring is very active, and the companies are totally okay with people working from home. So I'm not sure. This is my personal opinion that this year it won't be much challenging as compared to last year. So you don't have to worry about that, I guess.
Yeah, I also agree with Naveen. Like, I don't think this year, like, placement perspective, say there will be any issue because of pandemic. Yeah, in some sectors, I would say there are issues, but I think in our sector, like as business analyst or in these profiles, I don't think there will be any shortfall in the placement or any companies would be having any such issues. So yeah. One thing that I think now companies ask is how you can work individually. That is one thing I feel in some of the interviews that they ask that can you work alone? Like because you don't have a team, you don't have a shoulder to share that you can ask immediately. So that is one thing that I feel that is important if you work from home.
Okay, so now we'll take questions from the audience. So there are a few questions in the chat box. So the first question is from Sanyam. He's asking how is the placement scenario in civil MTech infrastructure management? I think this will be taken by some civil seniors. So, but you are asking one more thing. I don't know any language, how deep knowledge they needed, so I can learn according to that. Sanyam, your question is, I think, related to the civil background only. So we'll take it in another session. So now I have another question from Shiv. So he's asking, apart from the academics, did you do some online courses? Also, which courses do you recommend for us for placements? I think this is one of your juniors is asking.
Yeah, again, I think I answered this question in pretty much detail. Here, if you're doing some courses, don't. I have told you earlier, if you're doing some courses, do it because do it thinking about, I don't know this particular skill. So I really need to know the basics of that particular skill. Don't think about that, okay, if I'll take this course, so it will impress the recruiter. That is not the right approach. If you're talking about the particular courses that I need to have that can help me, so I would say that any course that is going to teach you the basics of data analytics, like for example, I think there is one particular course of IBM in Coursera in which they have complete series in which they cover the basic data analytics, then they cover the data visualization part as well. So as a starter, you can take those two courses of IBM. One is data analytics, one is data visualization, because they teach basics of Python, they teach basics of statistics, and they also teach the basics of matplotlib, which you use for data visualization in Python. So that is I think that is something which you can take it as a start. And after that, I'm pretty sure that you will be able to figure out that what kind of courses can really help you. Don't take, this is my personal opinion again, don't take those courses which is like a 6-month courses of machine learning. Because I honestly feel that if you think that you can do it very well, but this is my personal opinion, that when you take that course thinking that this is a 6-month course, I'll be able to learn every single thing, you won't, because after 1 month you will be bored and you will leave that course. So take short courses, take those courses which you can complete in a month or 2 months. Because what happens is, if you take a long course in Coursera, because of the flexible timing that they have, many times you just drop that course. So I would just say ki, as a starter, take that IBM course. After that, you will be able to know yourself ki, mujhe aage kis type ke courses I need to take. That is my answer. There is no specific course that I can say. Anshul, kuch तेरे दिमाग में है तो?
Yeah, like what you want to learn. If you want to learn, like what I personally did, I will say that courses to you. If you prefer, you want to do it, then you can do it. Like for R, I did our John Hopkins specialization that is available in Coursera. For Python, you can go for Python in machine learning and data science. There is one course that is available at Udemy. For SQL, you can go to any course, or for SQL, if you already know, you can try on HackerRank or maybe something, just practice that. Then if you are interested in marketing, we also did some digital marketing course that is available by Google. So yeah, Tableau you can learn from. If you want to learn Tableau, like Tableau came very handy to me. So you can learn that. They have the videos at Tableau learning itself. You, as a student, you can go at Tableau site. They will also provide you 1 year installation of Tableau. So you can use the like certified version, which is the paid version. You can use it for 1 year. So that thing you can do. And you actually basically you will not learn Tableau if you don't apply in any of this thing. If you will see just the videos, you will not be able to learn that. And it is same for all the courses. Specific to like programming language or these kind of courses, you will only learn if you apply them. So that is the thing. But these courses have some things that you have to apply, so you will learn. So you can select on your own. There are many available courses. You will type it on Google and you will get like these are some good courses, so you can do. There are not some like many it's fixed recommendation that you have to do this one only. That is
actually sorry about interrupting, Anshul. Actually, the thing is not the example that he gave you, the Tableau thing. So I remember we both were learning Tableau at the same time, and we deliberately applied the concepts of Tableau in our market research project or in some of our project, so that we can learn ki Tableau, this is the way Tableau works. So that is all. If you can deliberately use those skills that you are learning in your own academic projects, so that in that way you'll be able to capitalize whatever you have learned in a course. So yeah. Also,
Okay.
if just one last thing, if there are some here, Kaggle, if you have time, take any problem statement from Kaggle and you can start working on yourself. For example, I was not able to do this. I was only able to do this for one particular problem statement that I got from Kaggle. But if you have time, if you have a lot of interest, so you can take one of the problem statements from Kaggle, read the document that they have, and then you can work it yourself. You can apply your own skills there. So that is one of the best way to learn data analytics.
Okay, so next question is, Anshul, do you have anything to add?
no.
Okay. Yeah, so next question is, can you tell about your case interview preparation strategy?
Specific to me?
To everyone, like both of you can answer. I mean,
case interview, case round to tera hi tha na, you can explain.
Yeah. So yeah, basically case round, Tiger Analytics is one of the organizations that hires through case study only. Actually in Virtusa also I did case study only. So my majorly my experience was in both the companies through case process only. So basically, the case that was provided to me was in for a CPG industry, consumer packaged goods. So they gave a data set, and what is the exact question? One second.
Strategy.
Okay, what is the strategy? So yeah, you have to basically the strategy is only that you have to link that thing with business problem. So whatever the problem statement they have, you have to first like for any analytics project, they might give you data that you have to. I think the process everybody knows that you have to first clean that data. You cannot use it directly. Clean that data, then whatever tools you want to use present it through Excel. So I presented it through Tableau. So that I used. You can apply any. It depends on the problem statement basically. That what problem statement you get. On the basis of that, you will be able to use what tools and techniques you have to use. A strategy, there is no such strategy. Like uh, you have to just be confident that yeah, what you are explaining uh, is it is apt for business. If you are giving some advice, then yeah, that is good for a business. That actually will help a business. If you will give recommendations that are not that are like just based on the data, that will not work. That is the thing. You have to mm, hit the bullseye that yeah, this is the problem statement, and if I do this, yes, definitely this will work. This will work for the organization. If that is correct, then the interviewer will not have any questions. If you blabber anything just based on the data, then that is of no use. That is the thing.
Okay, so next question is, currently we are preparing a resume for internship, and for that we do not have academic projects, but I have a few self projects. My question is how these self projects helps in getting internship. I think this is what he's trying to ask. Like
Well, while answering whatever the question that they are throwing at you, while answering, I think two ways. It can help in two ways. First is जो भी question they have in mind. If you are able to answer it using one of your case study that you have solved or one of the project that you have done, it is a very good thing to do, because in that case they will be able to, one, they will be able to know कि हाँ भाई you have done this particular project. Second, they will also know कि you actually worked on this project and you actually applied the ideas that you're talking about. Second thing that is that where it works, because when the very first question that every recruiter asks is tell me about yourself. So in that tell me about yourself, you do whatever the things that you are telling, it has to be very much relatable to whatever they want you for that particular profile, you know. So for example, if you have done some self projects, you should be able to tell that in tell me about yourself, you should be able to talk about that project. Yeah, I have done this project in this way, help me, and you should be able to know why you are talking about that project. Because for example, if there's any company who has explained a particular scenario or particular requirement in their JD, you can actually use that, you can actually answer that particular question based on the project that you have worked on. So in these two ways, I think it helps. Yeah.
Okay, so next question is from MTech Y21 student. So he's asking, in which sem would you suggest to take courses on SMDA and data mining?
Samba, Anshul, तू answer करना चाहता है इसका?
Actually, Samba, in our time, it was given in second and fourth semester. I think now it is available in first and third semester. So third for internship, I guess take it in first semester only. If it will be better, third semester I think will be a bit late. There was another course, TMBA, time series modeling, that has just started. So that is also a good course. You can also take that. That you can take in third. Third, I guess third it was available, right?
Actually,
Yeah,
Samba to take it as soon as possible, because it is video of analytics. So whenever you are able to, include that in your course structure that you are planning for, Samba to take it as soon as possible, because once you get to know about Samba, you will be able to take some other courses. As Anshul mentioned, there is one particular course called time series and Tamba. TMBA, which is related to time series analytics. So there's a particular topic called ARIMA modeling, Sarima and ARIMA modeling. So those kind of models are pretty important when it comes to interview. So you can study that if you really want to, learn analytics in more detail. But Samba to take it as soon as possible, and then you can take other subjects in third semester. just before your placements. Fourth semester, though, you can take, if you are placed in fourth semester, though, you can take whatever subjects you want.
Okay, so this is very interesting question. In data analytics, any company on which you didn't make to the last round, and what do you think was your mistake, and how can we not make it? So,
Okay, Anshul, you answer करना है क्या? Because I do have an answer for this.
Yeah, I don't have much answer for this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Anshul was
I got no, not all. Actually, in campus, Tiger came and I was selected. So I think Naveen faced some issues in that. So I think he will better be able to answer. Yeah, but in off campus, I have faced, I have applied some, and I was not able to get in final rounds of some of the organization. I will not take the name of the organization, but yeah, what basically what do you think was a mistake? Yeah, mistake was. Uh, Mistake is that I was not very prepared, I guess, for that particular. I knew what kind of a round they were asking, but I thought, yeah, I know this thing. But being you have to before just before interview can what you can do is be more prepared. Like what all questions can be asked, because there might be some or the other things you might be missing. You will like forget a simple basic things. They will ask you in the interview. If you're not prepared, they will ask you any simple question, but you will think that, yeah, I read this thing a few months back, but I'm not able to remember that. So don't make that mistake. So just revise things, I would say, before interviews. You might know that, but just revise it once again, so that will help definitely in an interview.
Yeah, actually, मतलब Anshul has actually answered one particular thing, and this was the same mistake I made, because I was in one of the interview in which I got rejected after the first round, even though my interview was pretty good. The reason is कि when I was explaining about the one project that I really worked on, after I was able to complete my whole definition, explanation, everything, the very first question that he asked, I was not able to answer that properly, because I was talking about text mining, I was talking about data mining, and the very basic thing he asked me, that what is the difference between stemming and lemmatization. That is the first process in which you basically remove all the non-necessary words, unimportant, मतलब बेकार जो words होते हैं, the stop words. You have to remove that using these two methods. But I didn't apply that method in my project, so I did not know that. So that was one major drawback, that even though you were able to explain your project so beautifully, even though you knew your project very well, the one basic question that they asked, you were not able to answer it. So that was one mistake which you need to avoid. You need to cover all the basic points. Even if you have not worked on that basic point in your project, you need to be, I know that you cannot cover 100% of those points, but at least 60-70% thoda bahut prepare karke jao, that what kind of questions he can ask me related to my project. I should be able to answer that. Second thing, second experience, I would say, related to the case study that Anshul mentioned. In Tiger Analytics internship experience, the basic difference between my presentation and Anshul presentation was, his presentation was, मतलब जितना चाहिए उनको, whatever the little bit of information they require, he covered it. I covered too many slides. I covered too many extra slides. I think Anshul, you made 6-7 slides of case study, and I made 20 slides of that same case study. And I was like, I've covered everything and it's awesome. But that doesn't work. They don't want to study your detailed answer. They want to study a particular answer that they wanted, that they are like, this particular answer is simple, understandable, and this is solving my purpose. So yeah, that is second mistake that I did. So yeah, these two mistakes.
Yeah, so these things, like, this is a very important point, because in an interview they want crisp and uh, to the point answer. They don't want you to blabber on what, if you are explaining the problem statement again and again. So that is not a, they have asked a question, just give the crisp answer in uh, short words and complete that. That is very important. In any interview you will get that, because you will might go on answering but what they want, and that it happens, like if an interviewer is asking you again and again, if he's not convinced with your answer, just take a step back, think first what the question he's asking, take a step back, ask him for a couple of minutes, take 2 minutes, then answer it. Just because there will be a half an hour, 1 hour interview at the final, that on the basis of which that you will be selected. You might have done a lot of things in 2 years, but that will not help you if that interview doesn't go well. So, and what if that particular person is having an answer in his mind? He wants that answer. If you give that answer, you're selected. So just what he's asking, take some time and focus on that, and then give the answer. That this is, I will say, an important thing while giving an interview.
Okay, so you answered most like all the questions. So anybody in the audience wants to ask any question, he or she can raise their hands, will and unmute and ask the question, because we have finished all these questions. So Anshul and Naveen are I don't think there are many questions now, any questions now. So would you like to add something from your side to your juniors, who are about to start the preparation of their placements, or who are already like already have started? So do you want to add something apart from these questions, like something you want to add?
The only thing I can think of adding is here is कि मतलब यार many times one more thing मतलब this is just one very small thing that I experienced personally, that you know, sometimes a particular dream company comes and you try your level best to get selected and you give your best interview there, you put your best effort there, but even then you don't get selected. So many times you don't even know the reason that why you did not get selected. So just want to say one thing, that don't get panicked because of that, and don't get nervous because of that, and don't be basically don't be like, yeah, I'm not prepared enough. It's not true. Many times what happens is some companies come, they ask you some specific question, either you don't know or either you know and you answered it but they are not convinced by it. So it's pretty the whole interview is very much dependent on the perception that that the interview has. So don't be disheartened if you don't get selected by one company. You will be having plenty of opportunities. That is one thing I'm sure about being part of this college. You will have a lot of opportunities. So just don't panic. Be a bit selective. Don't go to any company just because you want to have one job. And definitely you will be able to, because you have to be successful only for one time. You can fail many times. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so I will, on the closing statement, I will also say that, yeah, be confident. That is important. If in interview you might uh, get a situation where you don't know something, you can straight away say that I don't know this thing. And there will be a lot of situations like that that will come. Just don't answer. That is the important thing. Don't answer wrong. It's better to say no. So this is something that is important in interview. And yeah, I guess like whatever you have done, don't try to tell that I have done so many things. What you have done, that is, uh, if you are telling them that I have done this and that, they will understand that you cannot do everything in this 2 years. Just don't become over smart in an interview. It will never help you. Just doesn't help. You can be you can be like, say no, I don't know, but just trying to impress them. If you are trying to make unnecessary statements, that will not help. So be confident, just don't be overconfident. And also underconfident will not work. If you are nervous in any interview, you might know everything, but you will not get selected. So that is important thing. You have to balance it out on all the steps. So yeah, that was pretty much, यार. बाकी I'll say सही है, हो जाएगा सबका, और बढ़िया है, मतलब ज्यादा टेंशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. Yeah, that's
Okay, thanks Naveen and Anshul. So you answered all the questions very well, and like sort of motivated our juniors also. So with this, I would like to thank you for coming for this session, and like, we will end the session.
Thanks a lot for inviting us.
okay.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you, yeah.
Best of
Thank
luck.
you, everyone. It was
Okay.
nice talking to everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.